wonderful show, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, the nominees
are...
And the Oscar goes to...
The Oscar goes to...
Steven Spielberg.
Thank you.
From Boston University Center for Digital Imaging Arts, this is the Post Movie Podcast, and welcome to our Oscar show. On this episode, we're going to go over the Academy Award nominations for the films of 2009. And with me, of course, is my co-host, John Black.
Hi, everybody.
And with us again, always happy to have him here, is Sean Burns from the Improper Bostonian.
Gentlemen.
And Brett Michel, critic with the Phoenix and the Boston Herald.
Oscar!
So let's get right into it. We've numbered these things out, so we're just going to take it one at a time, beginning with Best Supporting Actress. And the nominations are Penelope Cruz for 9, Vera Farmiga for Up in the Air, Maggie Gyllenhaal for Crazy Heart, Anna Kendrick for Up in the Air, and Monique for Precious.
Well, Monique's going to win, right? She's won.
She has to, or else we're racist.
Well,
it's true, right?
I always referred to this category as the best unsupported actress, and
I don't know. I thought with Monique, wouldn't it be more fun to imagine Eddie Murphy playing the part?
Norbit.
He finally could have gotten his Oscar.
Yeah.
She probably will win, but I think it's a very one-note performance. It's a lot of anger, and I guess there's a lot you can do with anger. I guess.
Let's hope she doesn't hear this, Steve.
Oh, yeah. She'd be kicking your ass.
Just throw a TV at your
This
head.
has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with the actress. I mean, it's her character in the movie is.
What did you really think of the film?
I thought it was all right. I thought it was. I think I had said before it was like I thought it was like an ABC after-school special. Turn up the volume. That was kind of like what it was. I didn't think it was.
Just
all that.
The one with AIDS and incest. And
just the turn up the
Pig's
volume
feet.
a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
She's
probably going to get it. But
Well, can anyone explain to me why Penelope Cruz is on this list?
I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on that one. I don't know.
She's really easy to look at.
Yeah. She's pretty. That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I mean, she
She balances out Monique?
She should have been nominated for her other role this past year, but
Which other role?
Broken Embraces.
yeah.
You guys are totally going to come down.
Almodovar.
Oh, yeah, that one.
I want to add this because I actually thought, and you guys would think this is a complete joke, but I think Zooey Deschanel should have been nominated for 500 Days of Summer because that is a hard role to play. She was playing a character that inevitably was going to be hated,
But it's a
and it's
lead role.
hard to do.
Yeah, it's a lead role, and the other reason Oscar shows are so long.
No,
She's
I
not
would
even
say-
on the list.
I would say it's supporting.
And how'd Gyllenhaal get on there
Her name's in
anyways?
the title.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going to, we can all wonder we can all say who we think is going to win, but my pick here would be Anna Kendrick.
You think?
Well, I just love the scene where she has a breakdown in the middle of the hotel.
She is good.
And it's just, that scene to me is, I don't remember pretty much anything. I remember Vera Farmiga in a tie coming out of a bathroom. But I don't remember much else she did.
See, I would give that as best body double because that wasn't.
Well, yeah. But she acted well enough to convince me it was her bum, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, Gyllenhaal should win most miscast because she's at least 10 years too young for that part.
Yeah, it gets creepy.
And it's actually really nothing. There's nothing exceptional about the role. It's just, it seems very standard.
What, Maggie Gyllenhaal's?
I was more surprised because I thought it was like big whoop. What? Sorry.
And we talking about Crazy Heart, Maggie Gyllenhaal? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know how an alt weekly writer could afford such a nice house.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think any journalist watching that film has to wonder how she's able to afford all that stuff. And she still hasn't really, had she really made it as a journalist? I don't know.
No, she was a single mom who did freelance work. Of course she can afford the best. But she lives out in the middle of where? Whatever little town that was shot in.
So our money's on Monique.
Yeah.
Well,
so Monique will win and Andrew Kendrick should win?
Well, that's my opinion.
Matter of fact, if you'd like now, I can give you the rundown of all of the major categories and what's going to win. But
No, that
as we
makes for a
go.
10-minute show.
I'll stick with the script here.
All right. What's our next category, Steve?
We've got actor in a supporting role. Matt Damon for Invictus. Woody Harrelson in The Messenger. Christopher Plummer in The Last Station. Stanley Tucci in The Lovely Bones. And Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards.
Sean, it sounded like someone punched you when he said Stanley Tucci.
Well, Stanley
Sean had
Tucci and
said-
Matt Damon both got nominated for the wrong films this
This
year, right? I mean,
completely-
Matt
Yeah.
Damon was brilliant in
Yes.
The Informant, and Tucci was great in Julie and Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Tucci in The Lovely Bones is one of the worst performances I've ever seen by a good actor.
Amen. Amen. It's every creepy old guy cliche you can imagine.
He was acting with his contacts and hairpiece.
Yeah, it's not a good.
I
And
recall.
he wore glasses and was bald in Julie and Julia, and he was great.
Yeah.
It works in terms of like my little game I play where instead of best actor, you say most actor. And
Amen to that.
there was definitely a lot of acting going on there.
Yeah,
But,
Matt Damon was he was terrific in Invictus. I mean, he
He was
it's-
solid,
don't
but I
think
mean,
it
he
was-
always
it's
is.
just
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good actor, but his great role this year was in a
The
different
Informant.
movie.
Yeah, and that really was a terrific performance. Woody Harrelson in The Messenger was, I don't know, take it or leave it. I think it was a really well written film, but his character is.
It's got an
It's so-
Oscar-ready clip, though.
Oh, I thought Woody was great in that.
He
man.
was, but I mean, he's got his crying scene. There
Yeah,
it is.
but-
And he got to
Clip.
balance it with Zombieland this year, which was a lot of fun to see him do too.
Oh, and don't forget 2012.
I just
Oh,
thought
yeah.
it was like the
Oh, yeah.
ticking
Oh, yeah.
time bomb in The Messenger when Woody Harrelson's talking about being in AA at the beginning of the movie, because you're like, if Harrelson's talking about sobriety in the first act, we're gonna have a great topple off the wagon by the end.
It's a good performance, and but I think what was more powerful about the film was Ben Foster. He's got this craziness in his eyes that is just
No matter what role he's in.
no matter what role he's in, he's got a
So-
little bit of insanity going on.
Can we say Christoph Waltz?
That's the man.
No, he's gonna win it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's.
Yeah.
I didn't
I-
like that movie, but my goodness,
He
is
was
he delightful?
delightful.
he's
Delightful.
the most fun Nazi. He's just having a
Bingo!
Yeah, that's a bingo.
Wouldn't want to
Bingo.
have
Yeah,
dessert with Christoph Waltz.
Oh, he's so much smarter than everyone else in the movie, and you just kind of like, yeah, there's just this joy in his perpetrating atrocities.
And especially because we know how slow the film opens, you know, and it's just so great to watch him, you know,
probably the
have a
best scene in
glass
the
of
movie.
milk and, you know, just knowing that shit's going to hit the fan real soon.
I like whenever he catches them, he gets this like, there's like this contagious giggle of like, can this really be this easy? Like when she says she broke her leg skiing in Paris, and he has to excuse himself.
He has such glee with his
Yeah.
job that
That's a nice
it's
bit of writing, too, though.
It is, but he really makes it something special. So I would say he's the winner in supporting role actor.
That's a bingo.
All right.
on to art direction. Avatar, everybody's favorite film. I'm gonna forego who was all the art direction stuff, but okay. Nominated for art direction. I mean the names.
Must we?
Avatar, Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
John's favorite.
9, everybody's favorite, of course. Sherlock Holmes and The Young Victoria. I have not seen The Young Victoria.
Okay, what's the deal with this? Because like I remember in Chicago, like I think Chicago won art direction, and then 9, it's the same thing. These movies are on black fucking stages.
They're
Yeah.
delightful.
What's the art direction? Like a new coat of black paint?
Oh, but you remember Memoirs of a Geisha? There's lots of neon. That was also
Well, there was a
lovely.
that was most art direction.
It was.
Yeah.
Most.
That movie was so slow because they had to pan over every inch of the set before they'd get into the scene. So you could see.
And it's something like
For the record, we love Rob Marshall.
you do. Oh, we all know that. We all know how much you love.
We all do.
For something like Dr. Parnassus and Avatar, that's all for this computer-generated stuff, right? So it's not really set direction; it's a technical
No, I
achievement,
think Parnassus does have the Gilliam
like
stamp.
the
And it is
the
yeah,
old-fashioned, like the wagon and
Tribe,
the old, yeah. Because I don't know why Avatar's in here.
I know why it's there.
It's pretty to look at.
I guess.
Gilliam's
Looks
movies
like
are
a
always
Yes
so,
album cover.
What they want us to believe.
they're always so wonderfully ornate.
If I had to
But,
pick out of these, I'd pick Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
I liked how that looked. That other cool steampunk kind of.
Yeah, Young Victoria looked like it was shot in a museum. So
Probably
what's
was.
the point?
Which is fine, which is
was.
probably why it'll get me my win.
Yeah.
Do you think? I think Avatar's walking away with it. It's just
I'm going to go with Sherlock Holmes too. That was they created a whole world up on the screen there that I believed.
Yeah,
So-
it looked like it smelled bad. That's what I liked.
Exactly.
I mean, Avatar could win in this category just because the Hurt Locker wasn't nominated there. Because it's a big battle.
well. I think
It's a battle
Avatar's going to
between
win because
the ex-husband and wife. And it's-
We'll get to that later.
all right,
Jumping
later.
the gun
You've
on
been
everything.
reading
bro.
Eden Weekly.
part of the promotion of the film is its design. It's the
What are you talking
whole,
about, Avatar?
Yeah, Avatar.
It changed movies forever.
Yeah.
I saw the ad.
It'll make movies fugly from here on out.
I have a feeling Avatar will come up again. What's next?
Best cinematography: Avatar, Mario Fiore, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Bruno de Bonal, The Hurt Locker, Barry Ackroyd, Inglourious Bastards, Cape Cod resident Robert Richardson, and The White Ribbon, Christian Berger. Opinions.
Brett, come on, let's hear it.
Burger.
Well, I think Avatar should be disqualified because what the hell did they film? It was all done on a computer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the
So
stuff
that's
they
all.
did film had that
Looked
shitty
terrible.
DV look.
Like,
you know?
really awful. The live action. It's funny. They bent over backwards to make the digital stuff in the film try and look like it's on film, and yet the stuff that's actually shot live action looks terrible. I shot it with my handy cam. Or the cell phone.
That's true.
The Hurt Locker, I mean, I'm sorry, the Avatar, there's just so much going into what, that took to put that actual image on the screen that it actually takes away, I think, from what cinematography actually is, because,
What is
it's been
cinematography?
prevised to death, it's been, just designed to death. It's
So
really.
which-
I think if there's a film on here, the like Harry Potter and Avatar are huge films that get so storyboarded to death that as cinematographers operating in this sort of and I guess I know this because I've worked on films that they're operating in this like with these blinders on. You have to do this. I mean, it's almost lots of these decisions that they're making there. They're not really cinematographer decisions. It's multiple things that have to be done. So
Out of these, the ones that have left, if we knock off Avatar and Harry Potter, we've got The Hurt Locker and Inglourious Bastards.
I think when it comes down to real cinematography, you've got
The White Ribbon.
well, I mean, if you're getting down to like real cinematography, point and shoot and frame it,
And
via the
light it.
cinematographer and his operator,
Don't forget the
there's The Hurt Locker and The White Ribbon are, I think, the tops here.
Well, Inglourious is a great looking
Inglourious,
movie,
it
too.
is a
It's
great
got
looking
those
movie.
Robert
It is.
Richardson colors just pop.
Yeah.
That guy can use red.
He deserves, an Oscar.
The White Ribbon should win because it's black and white, and
Yeah.
black and white movies look better.
I thought it was just a color movie they turned the color off on.
That's oversimplifying. The
Well, actually, what they
It was
did,
basically what they did.
they did film this.
not so much.
Well,
Brett has a 10-minute explanation of what they actually did,
Well,
but
yeah.
I
And I'll
think we're going
spare
to
you.
bore the shit out
There's
of
your
people
bathroom
enough
break,
with
people.
this
You can
thing.
come back. We're back in 10.
for all it
But I
is-
will tell
I
you
gotta
that
take a train home with him. I'll hear it.
Well, The White Ribbon, was filmed in color because its production company they paid them to film it in color, so that when they rebroadcast
Well,
it on German TV, it will be in color.
I will clarify
But-
a bit. That is not actually the case. They did shoot it on a color negative, but they shot on a color negative from the 90s because it was the one that was going to look best in doing it in black and white. The digital intermediate that they worked on was never in color. It was black and white the entire time. That film will never be shown anywhere in color because none of the work was done on it in color.
Well, I stand corrected then.
I'm
They
gonna
did
go
believe
with
it was-
Inglourious
it was
Bastards.
a,
shoot on a color negative with no intention of doing anything with color. But they lit it for black and white across the board. Everything was designed for black and white.
It's really pretty.
Well,
Pretty boring.
it may well walk away with it. I would pick The Hurt Locker, but The White Ribbon could very well.
Well, Inglourious Bastards could also take it.
I would go with
Personally, I would like
Inglourious
to see-
Bastards because I wasn't a real big fan of the Hurt Locker anyway, but when I watched it, nothing really struck me as being vivid or drew my eyes to something, as much as, like you said, the Red
it was
and
intended to
Bastards
be
did.
super grungy.
Oh yeah, it was 16 millimeter.
Yeah. All right,
What's
I
up,
think
digital?
we need to move on. Cinematography's done. White Ribbon will win. Brett celebrates.
Musical score. Avatar, James Horner, again.
And that's original score?
Yeah, that's the funny part is it says original score. And James Horner is
How
nominated for
bizarre.
Avatar. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Andre Desplat. The
Alexander.
Hurt Locker, Marco Beltrami and Buck Sanders. Sherlock Holmes, Hans Zimmer, which has gotten some good press. And Up, Michael Giacchino.
Giacchino.
I'm going with Up. That is a fantastic, fantastic score. I believe it won the Golden Globe, and it's a terrific piece.
I just hear a snatch of that score and I start to cry. Like you play little clips. Like,
Well, it's just really unfortunate that the score for Sin Nombre wasn't nominated here.
I second that.
Porque.
I also think
Because
Giacchino was shafted. I think the Star Trek score should have been on there.
It
I would
should have
agree
been,
with
but
that.
honestly, he's going to win. This
Yeah.
is his year.
Yeah.
Up. It's going to take that
about
award.
The thing is, you could play a selection of any music from any of these other ones, and I wouldn't recognize it. But if you play the theme from Up, I'll know what, I'll probably get teary-eyed, like you said, and I'll know what scene it was and what happens. And
Actually, I will say both Sherlock Holmes and Fantastic Mr. Fox do have nice.
do they?
They really are. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes
Has Zimmer?
is terrific.
Although saying it's composed by Hans Zimmer is a bit awkward.
Why didn't he do it?
It's composed by Media Ventures. It's about probably a dozen, maybe 15 people.
But Hans takes the prize.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
The travesty here is Avatar and James Horner being nominated for something that he just, this
Well, if they had an
is
award for
Searching for Bobby Fischer. This is Field of Dreams. This is everything that we've heard before from James Horner.
The man's been cannibalizing his own scores, his first few scores, for the last 15 years now.
15 at least.
Yeah.
And how come that power ballad from the end isn't in Best Original Song?
They must have been pissed.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's the whole reason
So
that's
you-
in the movie.
Yeah, they turn it up to 11 as the credits roll, so you won't miss it.
Original song, Almost There, from one of the films John really dig, Princess and the Frog. Down in New Orleans, from Princess and the Frog, music and lyrics by Randy Newman, as was the prior song. How do you pronounce this, Brett?
Just like it sounds, Loin de Pan.
Lando Paname.
Loin de Paname.
From Paris 36, Reichert Wagner. The Weary Kind, theme from Crazy Heart, music and lyrics by Ryan Bingham and T-Bone Burnett, and that's the one that's going to win.
Bravo. Thank you for not mentioning the. Or did you mention the song from 9?
No, you skipped that
Take
one. I
It
think
All.
you
Yeah, I think you.
subconsciously walked it
You're
off.
right. Good job.
Oh, thank you. No, I did miss that. Right, Take It All from
But you
9.
should have.
Thank you.
That should. Nothing from 9 should be nominated for an
Yeah.
Oscar.
No.
Not even Best Director?
Well, maybe because we do love
What's his name again?
Rob Marshall.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Weary Kind scene. Well, I didn't see the Princess and the Frog, but Randy Newman's got enough awards, right?
Yeah, T-Bone needs a little recognition.
It'll get it.
Is this
It's-
the kind of
it's-
thing where
it's a terrific
Jeff's
song.
actually going to come out on stage and sing it? Are they going to have the people sing these songs?
Dave Wildman will come up and sing it.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
Yeah, he'll probably come out. It's just a great song. It really is. Let's just move on. Sound editing. Avatar. Christopher Boyles and Gwendolyn Yates Whittle. The Hurt Locker. Paul Ottoson. Inglourious Bastards. Wiley Stateman. Star Trek. Mark Stolkinger and Alan Rankin. Up. Michael Silvers and Tom Mayers. Sound editing, I would have to go with Star Trek on this one, but then again,
Who are these people?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't care about this category at all.
sound editing. This is what makes movies movies. This is
Right,
this
but then
is
you have a
50%
separate
of the
category
theater-going
for sound
experience is the
mixing.
important.
Yeah.
Sorry?
You have a completely separate category for sound mixing.
that
So
too.
explain to me the difference between sound editing and sound mixing and how you would differentiate from looking at the movies. Or listening to the
Oh,
movies.
Sean. Yeah, right.
They can't just have best sound.
Why is this always such a nerve-wracking experience for me?
I don't know.
Being put on the spot to explain sound editing, and it would almost be
Do you
a
need
guess
puppets?
for me.
Hand puppets? That usually helps me explain delicate matters, especially to children.
As long as they're hand puppets.
They're hand
Well,
puppets,
you know,
right?
Sound editing, I'm
It's not a foot puppet.
partially guessing. These are the guys that,
Let me
He's
guess,
going
they
for it.
edit
He's going for it.
sound.
Come on.
there's a nuance to this. I mean, we can joke about it, but it's really, really important. When you see a movie that has sucky sound quality, and
You're
all
at the
things that
Commons.
go with it,
Or hearable.
If, at the Commons, this is what it comes down to. These guys are the
Right, but I'm
the
saying,
guys
I
that
mean,
take it to the next level.
the show's fucking long enough. Why don't they just have best sound? I mean, you don't have like best cinematography and best gaffing.
Well,
most
it's
Or you don't have
it's a
you don't have best lighting and best shooting. Because the awards for lighting.
And if we got rid of this sound mixing category, then Transformers 2 would not be up for an Academy Award.
all right. Let's just do it this way. Okay,
Yeah,
next.
that's the best
Hey
point
now.
we've made the whole show. So we're gonna Steve. Why don't you just tell us who's gonna win sound editing and sound mixing, and we can move on.
Sound editing, Star Trek. Thought it was phenomenal.
Okay.
Sound mixing, Star Trek. It was phenomenal.
See, I think this will be the point in the show when you're watching the Oscars where whether the Hurt Locker or Avatar takes them, you'll be able to tell which way the awards are going that night.
Yeah.
Whoever starts sweeping the technical categories, then they'll...
I should probably just quickly announce who got nominated for sound mixing. Avatar, The Hurt Locker, Inglourious Bastards. Star Trek and Transformers. Transformers was a sound mixing mess. I'm sorry, guys.
But I think it's safe to say you're a Star Trek fan, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really
because I think
impressed with
really
it.
the battle in those categories is going to be between the Hurt Locker and Avatar, like you said, and that will be the bellwether for the
Yeah.
bigger awards.
Nice.
All right. What's our next category?
Visual effects.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Avatar,
Yeah, the movie with the blue people. All right.
Yeah,
moving on.
Avatar.
District 9, and Star Trek. That's
No,
a
let's just
runaway
give it
for
to
Avatar.
Avatar. All right. What's next?
Writing, adapted screenplay. District 9 by Neil Blomkamp and Terry Tatchell. An Education by Nick Hornby. In the Loop by Jesse Arm, by a whole army of people. Precious and Up in the Air, Jason Reitman and Sheldon Turner. Thoughts?
Oh, if only In the Loop would win.
Yeah. That was so much fun. I would just want the soundtrack on my Walkman and play that dialogue over and over again. There's whoever Jesse Armstrong, Simon Blackwell, Armando Iannucci, and Tony Roach really loved language. Not only is it a great story, but listening to the language in that movie, not just the foul language, but the whole, everything that's said was great. So I would give it to that.
Well, it's so great with those just inane political phrases, like, in the land of the truth, the man with one fact is king, or...
Yeah.
Like, there's just these complete, all roads lead to Sweden, wasn't it?
And there's something about the way you watch, like, I felt like he wrote lines just for Gandolfini, and he wrote lines just for Steve Coogan. And it was a perfect match between the visual and what they were saying, that I just really think that was cut above the other people in this category.
Well, yeah, there's that showdown between Capaldi and Gandolfini where they just rip into each other at that bar for like 5 minutes straight. I almost stood
like
up
if
and
you've been in-
applauded at the end. Like this.
But do you remember the night we tried to watch that movie?
Yeah, let's not get into it.
It's the movie seems unscripted, but it wasn't. It's just really they terrifically delivered. They really throw the lines back and forth at each other. It's terrific. And
All this said, it doesn't have a prayer in hell of winning. So
I think they're going to give this one to Reitman because that's the only category he's really got a
this will
chance
be
of
the
winning in.
Up in the Air Pity Award. Like,
Yep.
Sorry, Avatar came out this year, kid.
I can say I was actually thinking Nick Hornby for An Education,
Not this year.
but
It's his first script.
All right, let's go to original screenplay.
screenplay, The Hurt Locker by Mark Bowl, Inglourious Bastards by Tarantino, The Messenger by Alexandro Camon and Oren Moverman, A Serious Man by Joel and Ethan Coen, Up by the Pixar people, Bob Peterson and Pete Docter,
Don't forget Tom McCarthy. Very important.
Oh yeah, Tom McCarthy, star of 2012.
Of all the credits you could have listed for Tom McCarthy.
That's why I said it.
It's not that he was on The Wire. No, he was in 2012.
It's not that he hasn't directed 2 great films.
What did he direct?
The Visitor.
The Station Agent and The Visitor.
They were good films.
New Jerseyan.
Nope.
So can we send a shout out to Dan Kimmel and just say Serious Man One? Just to know that he'll be pounding the door because he hated that movie so much.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How could you not like that movie?
I didn't.
Who is this person?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'd love it if the Coens won, but it doesn't seem to be their year.
It could very well. What do you think, John?
I'm going with Up. And that's just a personal choice. These might have been better. No, they're not better screenplays. I loved Up. So
I'd be very happy if it won because I think it's a fantastic screenplay.
yeah.
Plus, one of the writers played the dog, so.
Was it
It
Pete
is.
Docter?
This really isn't a
Bob
runaway.
Peterson.
Squirrel?
I'd like to see Tarantino win it for *Inglourious Bastards*.
Oh, he's got enough.
There's
Yeah.
that. It's a terrifically well-written film.
Do you really want to listen to a speech by Quentin Tarantino? We're going to probably have to deal with James Cameron being up there.
Well,
I want to listen to
there's
two assholes.
there's
in
what
one
I'd
night.
like. I think Up's going to win it.
But again,
Good.
this could be could be the Hurt Locker's night though. Could be.
I don't think the Hurt Locker or Avatar is gonna sweep. I just hope they don't. I didn't really like either one.
You know that $10 I borrowed from you earlier?
Gone?
We
History?
Should, we should bet on it.
Yeah, can we, we're online. Can we set up a gambling site
Could.
attached to this?
Probably have to be offshore.
Set up one of those
somewhere.
PayPal accounts people can set up. Beat the
There
critics,
must be
$10.
laws against that.
No, we'll go here offshore, right? We can just go off to the Bahamas. On Oscar night, Paul will be in the Bahamas, if anyone asks, running our offshore gambling racket. All right, what's next?
Actress in a leading
All right.
role. Sandra Bullock for The Blind Side. Helen Mirren in The Last Station. Carey Mulligan in An Education. Gabri Sidibe. Did I pronounce that correctly? Sidibe in Precious. And Meryl Streep in Julie and Julia.
Sean, what do you have to say about this?
I don't know how this happened in America, but Sandra Bullock looks like she's going to win this thing.
Thanks, white lady.
Really?
Is that it? Is just white people love to feel good about themselves, and that's why this appalling film has become a phenomenon?
Well, come on. She's not necessarily being awarded for this movie. She is being rewarded for
All About Steve?
No, for her career, her entire body of work, all of the phenomenal acting she has given us over the years.
I want to hear you say oeuvre.
Oeuvre.
And to our audience, he is saying this with a straight face, so.
Well, that, by the way, everybody, is our
Pretty much.
producer, Paul Leisen, producer, chiming in there. Paul, who
Apologies.
we wouldn't have this show without him.
That's true.
Have you seen The Blind Side yet, Paul?
You lucky bastard.
Never see The Blind Side.
So,
I'm living vicariously through the show.
so yeah, so many people do.
Shit.
Yeah, like a month and a half ago, I would have sworn it was Meryl Streep's to lose, and now something happened with this disgusting Blind Side.
I'm still going to vote for Meryl.
I don't see it either. I walked out of Julie and Julia thinking that she had it.
I'm quite big on Carey Mulligan.
Yeah, you just think she's cute.
Wow.
So I just don't think her career is going to go anywhere.
Have you seen anything she's done before this?
I've seen something she did immediately after it, which she probably did before it, but it's being released after. She was in Brothers.
Ew.
Exactly.
What was she in? Oh, she was like the
widow of the guy Toby
yeah,
killed.
yeah.
You know, I mean, I think you're right. I think it's going to come down to Meryl Streep and Sandra Bullock, and Meryl Streep has been there, done that, and Sandra Bullock, you know.
I want you to imagine what the headlines are going to be the next day if Sandra Bullock wins and Monique loses.
Thanks, white lady.
Yeah. Oh, Spike Lee will have an article. That's for sure. All right, so we decided it's going to be Meryl Streep, but Sandra Bullock's going to win?
Yeah, should be Meryl, will be Sandra.
Meryl is the better
Okay.
performance.
And Helen Mirren again would get the most acting.
Should be Carey Mulligan. I know you don't like the movie,
I don't like the movie, man. I'm sorry.
but boy, I think she sings in it.
She sings in it?
Awfully cute, but I don't know. I don't know how much is going on in that performance. Really, I didn't get.
She looks more scared because of how creepy, what's his name is.
Peter Sarsgaard.
Yeah. He just looks, he's so ultra creepy in it that she just has that wide-eyed deer in headlights look through the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, but that implies that she comes off as dim. I think she comes off as extremely intelligent in the film, not making the best decisions. I could easily be talking about. Forget it.
Burma VJ, The Cove, Food Inc., Most Dangerous Man in America, and Which Way Home. Opinions?
Don't care.
I only saw The Cove. I thought it was great, but if you like dolphins, you might not.
The
be able to
Cove,
sit through it.
I'll say
If you hate dolphins, The Cove is awesome.
ever.
The Cove is highly entertaining, exceptionally cheeseball ending.
I just thought they
Great
brought.
ending.
Cheeseball how?
I don't want to give it away, but I will.
Yeah.
In order to defend
I mean,
my.
this is the show. We give everything away on this show.
It was sponsored by Starkiss.
Where he basically they're at their whaling summit, and Japan has been lying to everybody about what they're doing, and so
Allegedly.
he invades the main guy. I forget his name anyway. He was the guy who instructed Flipper.
Mr. Flipper?
Yeah, Mr. Flipper.
And
so
Flipper
he
committed suicide in his arms.
In his arms.
he takes the video
All right,
that they had
you
filmed.
see what a piece of shit this is? Flipper did not commit suicide in this guy's arms.
No, he told us that.
Yeah, he told you that.
told me
Dolphins
that.
can commit suicide. Dolphins are the
See,
only.
Didn't you see the movie where George C. Scott tried to teach him to kill? They can't.
He
Yeah, but they're
has-
the only animal besides people that fuck for fun. So you gotta love dolphins.
Well,
Well, I
this,
didn't know
this,
that.
This
That's
guy,
not in the movie.
I hate them. I love
is it Fisher Stevens? I'm guessing he.
Fisher Stevens.
I don't know. He tells this story about how Flipper died in his hands. And
Yeah,
how he
yeah.
saw
It's
his
not
eye.
Fisher Stevens telling
Basically,
that
his
story.
eyes.
really
Flipper looked into his eyes, and his eyes said, "Kill me."
There are people wandering the
Let me
streets
die.
of Waltham right now that are saying the same kind of things about their teddy bear. I just felt they were just pounding away to make you feel bad in this movie, and I was just sick
it
of
was
it.
it was
don't-
sappy. So that's my point. It got cheeseball sappy at the end, where
But
he
it
ties
wasn't
the
Fisher
video
Stevens.
thing
It might have been
onto
Michael
him.
Kelly, right?
He ties.
forget his name.
This TV set to him.
Well,
this
it's got to be
video
one of
monitor.
Michelle Pfeiffer's
Oh, David
ex-
Kelly. Yeah.
David Kelly. Yes, right.
And he walks
Thank you
in.
for that.
But he walks into this thing to basically show everybody that this is what the Japanese are doing, and the music goes, you know.
Yeah, but
there's
the
this
dude really did
swelling-
it. I thought this guy was the most compelling character. He began
God,
this
it's
whole
such a-
dolphin water park thing with Flipper. He was basically enslaved an entire race of cute little.
Can't roll my eyes anymore after seeing that. It was just like, ugh, you know.
The guy's trying to redeem himself. He devotes his entire life now to rescuing dolphins. No
I
matter where he
did-
goes, he's haunted by this. He's a fascinating figure.
Yeah. I know. I get it. we're moving on from the Cove.
Let's give it to the Cove. The Cove deserves it.
No, I
Obviously, it
think
makes us
the
all feel
most
very
dangerous
passionate
man in
about it.
America deserves it. That movie
Didn't
was
see it.
It was excellent.
It doesn't come out till tomorrow, so I'll see it then.
Daniel
Those were my
Ellsworth
vocals.
died in Flipper's arms.
He's dead.
Yeah. You
watched
did,
the movie.
I
It's
know.
so
It's in the
sad.
extras. It's in the extras. There's a little dolphin icon. Click on it. It's an Easter egg.
Actor, and for that, yes, actor in a leading role. Jeff Bridges in Crazy Heart. George Clooney in Up in the Air. Colin Firth in A Single Man. Morgan Freeman in Invictus. Jeremy Renner in The Hurt Locker. And where's Michael Sherberg?
Who?
Schulberg. That's
Schulberg?
a single Schulberg, whatever. From A Serious Man. That's who should have been nominated. Was not. Anyway, Jeff Bridges probably going to get it.
It's his time. This is one of those.
Has he never won?
No, he's never won.
It's not his movie, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wish the movie was better because this just happens sometimes with these actors that get like, with like Pacino for Son of a Woman or something. Everyone just says, "Oh, he never had one. It's his year."
Yeah.
Right. And
then you happen
that's
to
exactly what they're doing with Sandra Bullock, though, because she's, like I said, she's given so many great performances over the years that they're just gonna. This is her time.
I mean, I can't. Worst
What
case.
the fuck? Okay, just wanted to get that out there.
I think I don't want people to overlook what George Clooney does in Up in the Air, because I think people see him and think it's so effortless, and he's just being George up there and stuff. He's really good in this movie.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
it's just it's one of his better performances, I think. And again, it's not showy. It's not like he's not the alcoholic country singer making a comeback. He's not Mandela. He's not the gay man in the perfume ad, and he's not the guy
Firth was
defusing
terrific.
bombs.
It's really, I think it's the best thing he's done. But, I see what you're saying.
yeah, and I mean, I thought Renner was fantastic.
I'm actually going to say I don't think Morgan Freeman deserves to be nominated here. It just wasn't anything special.
You are a racist.
Sorry, but
He had an accent.
it was just
Yeah, exactly. He had an accent, and he was
not
Mandela.
anything.
You can't really ignore that, can
Yeah.
you? Clint will kick your ass.
Stolbarg. Michael
That's what I felt
Stolbarg.
about Damon too. He's got an accent, and he's he's playing this.
When he lost
rugby
all the
player.
informant weight,
it was,
it was bulky.
It's not sure.
No,
Definitely not sure, but that's.
All right, so we're giving it to Bridges.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna get it.
that's the show.
Personally, I'd pick Renner, but that's just because we get to watch him guzzle scotch on stage at the Brattle the
Your
other
new
night.
hero.
He was
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh. So now,
Soon to be appearing in a Facebook photo with me.
really?
In what? Soon to be appearing in what?
In a Facebook photo with me.
Yeah, how else do you follow up the Hurt Locker? Get on Brett's Facebook page.
We even knew it.
The performance of a lifetime. Then cheese.
Brett, okay, you're gonna have to share that with the Plug Post Movie Podcast Facebook page.
Oh, he will.
We just set it up this week. Film editing: Avatar, District 9, The Hurt Locker, Inglourious Bastards, and Precious. Opinions?
Okay, this is the inverse of the acting thing. So instead of most, you say least editing. The longest movie always wins best editing. So is that Avatar or Bastards? Which one was longer?
Avatar felt
Avatar,
longer.
I believe.
I think Avatar's still going.
Yeah. He's still trapped.
I mean, personally, I like the Hurt Locker.
Yeah, that's my personal favorite too. But I think Avatar is going to take it.
I don't know. I think Hurt Locker might win that award.
As part of the sweep, you're going to lose $10 on?
Yep. Oh, it's not going to sweep, but it's going to do well.
The bet was sweep. Every category. So anyway, film editing.
Any opinion here? Any opinion here, Brett? John?
No, I don't care about film editing. I know without film editing there'd be no films, but it's not a category.
No, that was
This is
without
definitely-
sound editing.
This
There
is
would
one of
be
those
no
bathroom break categories for me, unless I, it's something that just is. So, Avatar can have it.
Well, what was the flashiest editing? Because that should obviously win.
Precious.
Like the Hurt Locker, right?
Precious. Well, boy, the Hurt Locker was some damn good editing. That's really impressive. It could win, but I still think they're going to give it to Avatar.
All right, what else did we miss?
I think we missed costume. Any opinions on costume design? Bright Star, Coco Before Chanel, Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, 9, The Young Victoria.
I was surprised Bright Star snuck in there because they actually looked like real clothes from the period and not like the Young Victoria museum pieces.
Yeah, they looked lived in and they fit the people, so let's give it to them. Give it to Bright Star.
I do. I fell asleep at Coco Before Chanel, so I can't.
Yeah, but Billy Connolly's costume.
The costume design put me to sleep.
in Bright Star was great.
You mean Paul Schneider as Billy Connolly?
Oh, was that who it was?
Has a Terry Gilliam film ever won for costume design? Because I'd love to see.
You were asking the
I
right
would love to see.
Would anyone know the answer to that question?
Hey, film critics,
Tom
know
O'Neill around
shit.
here? Can he answer?
We know shit.
Design awards, not quite.
I'd like to see Imaginarium get it. Moving on to Brett's category, foreign language film. You want to read that off for me?
But we missed makeup.
Oh, we can do that next.
All right. Oh, am I reading it?
Yeah.
Do I have to?
You want to.
Must I milk my sorrow?
Ew.
Or La Teta Asustada? That's right. The Milk of Sorrow from Peru is up for the award, as is Ajami. It's Ajami. That one's from Israel. A Prophet. That one's from France. And El Secretion de sus... No, it's El Secreto de sus ojos.
Or in other words, why?
Argentina.
All right, step it up, Brett. This is going to be longer than the friggin' actual show.
All right,
Why-
the
why
secret in their
dolphins?
eyes.
We should have a
But why
band
am
that
I
can
even-
stop playing.
Why am I even reading all of these when we could just go with the winner, which is going to be the White Ribbon, John?
White Ribbon's the only one I've seen. So
White
I'll be
Woman's the
psyched
only
if
one
that
I've seen.
Only one I've seen.
That's
All right,
that's
so
what I
it's a
think.
winner by default.
And it deserves the award.
Makeup. Il Divo, Star Trek, and The Young Victoria. I just thought Spock's makeup was tops.
Old Spock or new Spock?
New Spock.
I don't know. The green girl's.
The
Green girl was a little off, though.
That is a winner. The green girl.
And actually, shouldn't Spock's skin be kind of yellow? Because it wasn't.
I don't know. Well,
Are
it
you
didn't get
talking about
nominated
you're
for
talking
Best
about
Singer.
his
The film was actually
overall
it was
makeup
too
or just his
glaring.
ears?
Overall.
All right.
Seems like a very weak category.
Yeah, but I think that's the one category that Star Trek's going to win.
Yeah, probably.
Apparently, makeup wasn't involved in Avatar.
Yeah, it was all done in a fucking computer.
It's great. We love computers.
All right, so let's give it to Star Trek.
Fine.
Yay.
Now what else? What's left? Just the
I
big
think we're
one?
moving on to the big one.
Big
Two
guns.
big ones.
No. Best Director.
Oh.
Director. Avatar. James Cameron. The Hurt Locker. Catherine Bigelow. Inglourious Bastards. Quentin Tarantino. Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire. Lee Daniels. And Up in the Air. Jason Reitman. I'm going with Catherine Bigelow.
You are a racist.
Lee Daniels is black and gay.
Jesus, man.
They have to win.
The
gay black twofer.
we did the screening at the Brattle the other day, and I'm telling you, it's a hell of a film, The Hurt Locker.
Nothing would make me happier than Catherine Bigelow winning. I mean, it's the best directed film of the year, and it would spare us a speech from that gas bag asshole Cameron. Get up there and speak Na'vi like he did on the Golden Globe Awards.
I see you. I see you.
I think that might have swung it for her because everyone's watching the Golden Globes and they're like, "Oh shit, we can't have him up on stage."
Can I
Remember
change
that
Yeah, only
King of the
Academy
World
members.
crap?
Can I change
No,
my
I think
vote?
it's safe to say that Bigelow is going to be the first woman to win the award ever.
Okay.
Girl
There's a
power.
terrific bit of sound editing and sound mixing.
Which makes the movie.
That's what I hear.
50%
There
of
we
it.
go.
She knows that. She knows how damn important it is.
So,
And I didn't even like the movie, but
What do you think about Tarantino?
give it to her. No, it's the same shit he's been doing for years.
I still think they should have cut like 20 minutes out of it. I mean, I know that, it's just, I'm just throwing this out there, but like, Inglourious Bastards is just too long, and it just didn't seem like a tight film, and Tarantino's great at directing scenes, But Catherine Bigelow gets it.
all right, well, let's talk about the controversy here. With now this year, they expanded the category to 10 Best Picture nominees. This decision was made before the end of the year Oscar releases came out. I'm sure they were wishing they rethought it.
Why did they do it? What's their excuse?
Ratings.
Because the show's
You need
what,
to-
not long enough?
If you
Because
look
of
at
the Dark
history of
Knight. Let's not
Oscars,
make any
Yeah.
bones about it.
Because last year they nominated The Reader and not Batman, and everyone threw a fit because anything's better than The Reader. But
Right, pretty much.
And the producers can see the reasoning in that if had Batman or The Dark Knight been nominated, the ratings, like they got in '97 with Titanic, would have been much higher. Unfortunately, maybe possibly from the way they're looking at it, it's that, these big films make for better numbers on TV.
Wait, is the Oscars going to be in 3D this year? I can't wait.
I believe Titanic was the highest rated of any Academy Award program in '97.
So of these 10 nominations, which do you think are there to appease the public, the ticket-buying public?
Oh, The Blind Side, District 9, right off the bat.
Who's District 9 appeasing?
Oh, I'm
okay.
The movie, the general.
And then The Blind Side,
the whole.
It's just for Sean.
Republicans.
I guess, yes.
No, but this is what I think. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot here, because I know, like my dad and his girlfriend, every year they have to go see all 5 Best Picture nominees, and I'd try to stand in front of the theater door and block them from seeing The Reader, but they have to see it to play along at home with what's nominated. But if there's 10 movies, no one's gonna go see oh shit, we have to see all these, so they're just I saw Up, I saw The Blind Side, I don't have to see the rest of these. I saw Avatar. So I don't know. I think it actually hurts a
serious man.
A serious man.
Yeah.
But nice to see it got nominated.
So is this going to be what? It's Avatar, Hurt Locker.
Yeah, it's still Avatar, Hurt Locker.
So Avatar, Hurt Locker split the votes, and Blindside wins.
And that scream, you will hear it all the way in Quincy.
That would be crazy. This could be one of those situations that happened with Saving Private Ryan and Shakespeare in Love, where Spielberg gets Best Director, but Best Picture goes to Shakespeare in Love. So Bigelow gets Best Director, but
I'm hoping
Best
we don't
Picture
get
gets,
a crash situation.
Goes to Cameron.
Can Up win? It was my favorite movie.
That would be great.
Can Up win?
No, Up will win Best Animated
win
Film.
Best Animated Film,
which is the Pixar Award.
But yeah, I think the three of us, we would all give it Best Picture, because we did give it Best Picture.
Yeah.
Strange if Up should win Best Picture, but not Best Animated.
My gut at this point in time is kind of saying the Hurt Locker's going to take the movie, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Avatar made $1 billion.
It did, but I'm really hoping sentiment is turning on the movie.
The Hurt Locker is
the Producers Guild, man. They gave it the award.
And the Hurt Locker made what? $100, $200?
It made about as much.
But it can make
as,
$100 more if it wins Best Picture.
Yeah,
imagine
sure.
that.
It'll
They
double.
made $11 million, I think, was the final. gross
I
in
think
Hurt
there
Locker.
was around 17, and that was only like a couple days of Avatar's gross in Italy.
In one theater.
In one theater. It's a terrifically well-made film.
Italy?
No.
I'm going with Avatar.
I will never go with Avatar.
John, what's your choice?
My heart says Up, but I think it's going to be Avatar.
Well, if only it were Up, but I'm with John. It's going to be Avatar.
It's going to be the Hurt Locker.
I hope you're right. I'd love to see the Hurt
I'll
Locker
hurt
win.
you.
You're gonna have to take Renner's face out of your Facebook and put in Cameron.
So Cameron's.
You know
gonna
what
get up there
Cameron
and
will
be
do if he doesn't win at least one award? I mean, no one will get out of that place alive.
like, I'm
He'll claim
king of the
racism.
universe.
You don't like white people.
Or blue people.
Blue people, yeah. Blue
Racist against the Na'vi.
The tidy blue people.
I see.
She exerts enormous power, doesn't she?
You believe in curses?
Never look back, Lawrence. Never look back. The past is a wilderness of horrors. Darkest hours of hell lie before you. Run free. Kill or be killed.
All right. You got notes on Wolfman?
I do.
All right. No, I don't
Yes.
need them. I'll just make it up.
All right.
Okay. Guys, I didn't see The Wolfman. Tell me how it is.
Opening this week is Joe Johnston's The Wolfman, starring Benicio del Toro. Universal's updating of the 1941 classic starring Lon Chaney. I guess I can say about this movie that it just is what it is. You know,
what is it?
Well, it didn't do anything exceptionally special. You know, but it did do what they said that it was going to stay close to the original. And
I don't remember the original frame jumping all over the place because the projection was so horribly broken.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I didn't have to review it, so I didn't go to the screening. How did that go?
Oh, it was wonderful. At the end of the first reel, the frame skipped, and so the image was so high that we were seeing time code at the bottom of the screen, and then they fixed it. Meaning they
kept bouncing back in.
Well, they lowered it down a little bit, enough so that they could block off the time code information at the bottom, but not enough so that you could see the tops of people's heads.
There's one incident where the reel changed over, and you basically got the screen split in half.
Well, but that was we watched it misframed for the entire running time until the final reel, when
heads were cut off.
That's when it jumped, and we had the time code right across the center of the screen, and the top of the frame was at the bottom, and the bottom of the frame was at the top.
Just, you know, watching the actors walk around with their heads lopped off.
They were nice enough to fix it for the final reel of the movie. Yeah, it was very exciting. But wasn't like I called the theater from my seat 5 different times trying to get them to fix it, only to be told that there was nothing they could do.
I mean, there were moments while we were watching this film where the audience was going, "Oh!" every time the framing messed up.
See, since I wasn't on a deadline, I decided to wait, and I'm going to watch it tonight at the Embassy Cinema, 16 Pine Street, Waltham, Massachusetts.
That's the place to go.
But do you hear this, Universal? Your movie was horribly projected.
I just think whoever's screening it at Boston Common, it's like they don't care. And I mean, I have said this. I'm grateful to be able to attend the press screening and watch it. And it seems kind of petty for me to complain about this, but
it's not petty to want to see the film shown properly.
Damn movie on the screen the right way, the way it's supposed to be shown.
Well, you're in the business of showing movies. You just should kind of take for granted that the movie's going to be shown properly. Is it too much to ask?
This kind of thing doesn't happen at the Embassy.
What was that address again?
16 Pine Street,
Waltham,
Massachusetts.
Happened far too many times at Boston Common. They got to be called out on it, you know.
Well, yeah, this passed from like November on. I don't think we saw a movie projected properly once at the Common.
We saw 2 hours of Avatar out of focus.
It was the best 2 hours. But there's the thing, you know, with Avatar, it was out of focus. When Fox found out about it, they sent in experts from the coast and, you know, fixed it all up, special screening, and I had no desire to go back. I wasn't going to give another 2.5 hours of my life up to watch that thing in focus, because I didn't think it would get any better.
But I had the same experience with Wolfman. You know, I really don't need to go back and see it again.
See, I'm going back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be going to the Embassy Theater in Waltham. What's the address again?
16 Pine Street.
Did you did you like it?
It was nothing special. It was a lot gorier than I thought it was going to be, and I didn't think it needed to be gory.
Right, there is such a thing as restraint.
Yeah.
And this film had none. I don't know who it's made for.
No, I have no idea who it's made for.
It's got a viscera, it's got entrails flying everywhere, limbs, heads, you name it. Everything's getting lopped off. At least
the sound
nothing.
design is incredible.
Of course it is.
How's the first time I've ever heard Brett talking about restraint?
Yeah, you know.
Unless it's restraints.
Yeah, that's a different movie. That's
plural. Yeah.
The friend I brought, I asked her if she liked, you know, monster movies. She goes, as long as no one gets their head lopped off, I'm fine.
Oops.
And
yeah.
That's all there was.
You know, it's like two graphic head loppings. And then, yeah, it was like they went to, you know, they hung out behind a butcher shop at closing and said, can we have all your scraps? And then we just dump them in piles, you know, on the screen as, you know, another person gets ripped in half. So I don't think it was anything special, but believe it or not, something like The Wolfman, I'm a completist. I want to see it. But I was entertained enough. The acting I thought was miserable. Benicio del Toro poses a lot. And
he's got a funny accent.
That British accent of his?
Well, no, I think
the way it keeps going in and out.
He had apparently gone to America when he was a kid because he's an actor from the American stage, and he's doing
Shakespeare.
He's doing Hamlet in London at the time.
Yeah.
Of the film. But he doesn't have an American accent either.
No.
It's
like
Does he turn into a werewolf while he's doing Hamlet? Because I would go see that.
He doesn't even do any Hamlet. They kind of film it from the back of the room because he can't do this. It's just keep the camera back.
The skull.
But and then you have Anthony Hopkins who
he broods his way through the entire film.
Yeah, he broods and poses, and then Anthony Hopkins is so freaking dull.
This is just
and
another...
he's just like, oh, here comes my big line, blah blah blah. It's just awful.
Can we all get over the mass delusion that Anthony Hopkins is a good actor, though?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people just
cast him in to give this some fake sense of importance.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I just think of him being in like Zorro and just like the semi-comic book kind of movie. That
Don't
gives it a little
forget
sense
that Geraldine Chaplin's also in the movie.
Geraldine Chaplin's in the movie.
Yeah, she is.
Without makeup.
She's a gypsy lady.
You know what happened to him. You understand it. Listen to me. I need you to help me.
Leave him to his fate.
I have to save him.
Do you love him?
Just tell me what to do.
Will you condemn him? Or will you set him free? Do you know what that means?
Yes. But I can't. I can't do that. He's still there. I know he is. I know I can save him. I'm begging you, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I should say. Oh,
I'm in for it tonight.
Yeah.
Was she in the Maria Upsmanskaya role? The head gypsy that proposed.
Yeah, it was her.
For people unfamiliar with the plot of the movie, it stays basically the same as the original 1941 film, where.
If the original was gory as hell.
Well, that's the point of remaking things, to take advantage of the new freedoms.
Yeah, although this one they remade over the course of
I'm sorry, America.
2
I was
years?
stunned for a second there.
When did they shoot
That was
this
a line
movie?
from a serious man.
Okay.
Didn't they shoot this movie in 2008? And then did reshoots last year? And
Yeah, it's been kicking around forever.
Danny Elfman was hired to do the score, and then he was fired, and then he was rehired again. It's true.
Okay.
It's
you
been-
said
it's
it. It's
been,
got to be.
Stuff that comes out in February,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to clean out the
Big
closets.
surprise.
Yeah, they one of the big changes they did, from the original was that they pulled it back into 1891 Sherlock Holmes territory, and they made the Wolfman's change, his curse, more blood related as opposed to a gypsy curse, which was sort of what Bela Lugosi and Maria Upsmanskaya in the original were gypsies that gave the curse to Lon Chaney's character, and then he was also attacked by a dog, so it was like either this or that. But
a dog or a wolf?
In this particular version, he is violently attacked by a werewolf and bitten in the neck and healed in such a way that when someone who is attacked by a werewolf, they it's the mark of the werewolf, and so it's
I just thought it was crazy that all right, everyone knows he's been attacked, and so all the villagers come to the castle like, hey, we know you're going to be a wolf.
Nearly the full moon. You were bitten by the beast. You bear his mark now.
Mr. Talbot, there are many of us here who are looking for a natural explanation. Help us.
Come on, Talbot. Show us your wounds. We're told it heals in an unnatural way.
They're like, no, I'm not. Okay. Well, don't then. Bye. It was like a bad Saturday Night Live skit. It was like, come on. Just get them.
Parading villagers.
But then you got that 20-minute movie with nothing and all those steaming piles of guts just rotting off camera waiting to be thrown out.
Yeah, but don't forget Matrix guy.
Yes. Matrix,
Hugo Weaving. The movie is also about, the draw is for fans of the Wolfman is the transformation, the makeup stuff, and which Rick Baker does here, and it's cool.
Does he?
It's cool, combined with the CGI.
Well, I'm not sure how much his contribution was really up on screen.
All right, where do you get all this inside dope?
Rick Baker?
No, Brett.
Oh.
He's got the scoop on everything. I feel like I don't read enough.
He's unemployed.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. When I saw the movie, I was laughing at how fake everything looked. I was like, that's not even Benicio in a mask. That's all computer-generated stuff. I go home that night, there's an HBO making of, and Rick Baker putting the individual hairs on Benicio's face, and you can really see his eyes. That's why it makes it so touching. And I was like, no, it just all looks fake. All the stunts look fake, and there they are on the HBO special showing how they're done. I was like, nope.
Well, the time code I kept seeing on screen looked really fake.
It did. It did.
The
they didn't have those in 18 Sherlock Holmes time.
No.
Well, the theory is about these classic horror characters from Universal is their thing is that if you make them sympathetic to the audience, they're much more effective at being frightening. There is nothing frightening about this film. I don't care that they're zooming in on his eye and you can see a skull or somebody's face, and it's just a process of
there's
whatever.
Also the unbelievable love story between Emily Blunt as Lawrence Talbert's dead brother's fiance Gwen, who suddenly developed over skipping stones. You're gonna love this part when you see it. Right. Over skipping stones falls madly in love with her dead brother's brother, or her dead fiance's brother.
Who's mauled at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, and it just, there's no chemistry between the two of them. There's nothing there except that, we've been told along the lines that,
It's animalistic passion.
Did you believe it? When you could see it, when it wasn't splitting the screen?
I could believe a guy being horny, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between wanting to bang Emily Blunt and falling madly and passionately in love with his
Well, I
dead
couldn't
brothers.
believe her end of it, but his, it made perfect sense.
Yeah, he's a wolf. She's got a pulse. It works.
Yeah.
Which I think you had said last week, Jack Nicholson does a lot better in Wolf.
Yeah. It was better than Werewolves on Wheels.
Yeah.
This is nice. You guys have really determined how much I'm going to drink before the movie tonight. So thank you for that.
We can't be responsible.
But I'm just going to say, I thought when he's running around London and, he goes from, the two-legged Wolfman to the Wolfman on all fours, and he's like charging through and tearing the crap out of everything, slashing people right and left. Those scenes were pretty damn cool. The special effects were cool.
How was the sound editing during that sequence, though?
Terrific. All you could think of was like, he's a lion, he's a tiger.
Well, he's a wolf.
He's not a wolf. It's a lion's
roar. In the case of that, the sound editing sounds terrible.
The sound editing, it's just.
The sound editing makes him sound like a lion.
I don't think he's done his job.
Screen, and then they add this guttural
feline wolfman.
This guttural growling that's more like something like a lion or something. It's just the over the top sound editing.
Yeah.
Is that good?
No.
Wow, for a second there, I thought you were going to defend it.
It's bad good. It's just bad good.
Yeah.
When you have a sound editing situation where it doesn't work if you're thinking of something like in this case, they're obviously using some sort of a lion or some sort of beast.
Tiger?
And then they're combining it with some guy that's actually credited as doing Wolfman howls. Yeah, it was bad good territory.
I think the whole movie was bad good. That's why I'd see it again. I don't think it's going to get any better, even if the film works as well as it is projected at the Embassy Theater. And what street is it?
16 Pine Street
in Waltham,
just off of Moody Street.
And back to that time code, there was actually a date on screen that was June of 2009. So, this film really has been around for a while.
All right, but I'd still go see it.
But it won't be around in the theaters for very long.
John, you must have digged the blood and guts. The hand coming out of the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
That ravaging.
Yeah, it almost had nothing to do with the movie. It all felt like it was tacked. That's probably what they tacked on in June. It's like, this thing's going out PG-13. No one's going to see it. We've got to amp it up.
The mental institution scene was kind of cool.
Mental institution scene.
Remember they brought him in to see if he actually was.
Remember that guy who was crazy with the crank?
Yeah.
He really loved his job as the guy who turns the crank. He was so into it.
I know.
It's completely predictable, but Benicio in the strapped down, and then they go through this whole is he not a werewolf, and then transforms and basically
they could have had a good scene with the transformation in the asylum, and boy, what a just flat, lifeless sequence it is. It should have been fun. The setup is there.
Yeah, it's a great setup for when they try to prove he's not a werewolf. but it doesn't deliver.
The other major absurd thing is what happens with Anthony Hopkins' character, his father, John Talbot, in that basically this movie frigging ends like any, like superhero thing where you've got like one werewolf versus the other. Your one-on-one showdown. Your Spider-Man versus Green Goblin.
But one of them has to actually tear off his shirt so that you can easily differentiate between the two. One's wearing a shirt and one's not wearing a shirt.
Oh, I thought it was just a cheesecake shop.
Is this the first time two Oscar winners have been wolves fighting?
And hopefully the last.
So you're bringing it around to the Oscars again.
That's what a good paycheck will do that.
Let's just walk away. We should wrap it up, right?
Would any of you pay $10 to see the Wolfman? John?
No, I'm going Bargain Matinee.
Yeah, I would do matinee.
It's only $9.75 at the embassy.
I'll say that even though I didn't pay to see it after the poor projection, I would demand $10 back.
Ooh. Yeah. That's not going to happen. You get a lovely little piece of paper that gives you a soda or a free trip back.
Yes.
I also want to add it was terrifically well photographed because
how could you
tell?
Done
by an old boss of mine, Shelley Johnson.
We couldn't tell.
I could tell.
You should tell.
The darks
Shelley
were very dark and mystique, and the lights were.
Oh, so it was on film. It wasn't a digital print.
No,
then.
it was on film.
You should tell Shelley what they did to her movie.
Yeah. So that wraps it up for this one. On this show, we discussed our Oscar picks for 2009, and we reviewed The Wolfman. Be sure to check out the website at postmovie.wordpress.com, and definitely send us an email. We'd like to know what you think, whether you agree with us or disagree, or any thoughts on the show. Send us an email at postmoviepodcast@gmail.com. And
be sure to tell people they can follow us on Facebook.
Oh, yes, in Facebook. We set up the Facebook page this week, so we've already got something like 110 fans, which is good. It's a start.
I'd love to hear people's thoughts on sound editing.
Do it. Let us know. Post us a note on Facebook.
Or if anyone knows the difference between sound editing and sound mixing. Anyone? Anybody?
And thanks to Brett and Sean for joining us again.
Always a pleasure.
And Paul, our recordist, the man who puts it all together and with whom this show would not happen without Paul Lyson. So thank you, Paul. Adios. Adios. Have a good time at the theater this week, everybody.
This show's never going to end.
It's ending. The Hurt Locker, Barry Ackroyd, and young Victoria, John Henry Gordon.
No, you went on the wrong page.
Yeah, you're on wait, is he on the right page?
No.
That's, no. Avatar may even require what could be
Paul, you're going to need to edit this section.
No, run it. Just let it run.
You've got it wrong.
What?
We're having a conversation over here. Join us.
The cinematography, it's actually...
Steve Winks for being the boy
you're
in the
making
plastic
the wrong
bubble.
pick. It's Inglourious Bastards and the White Ribbon or the other two.
Yeah, let him wear the cans. Bubble boy.
All right.
All right, what are we talking about? Cinematography? Let's give it to Hurt Locker and move on.
No, the thing is that I got my page wrong.
Yeah, so we need to...
So it should go from Hurt Locker to Inglourious Bastards?
Yes.
Sorry about that.
So make the announcement again. From the top.
Yeah, just cut out that after the art direction. Sorry about that.
I can't wait to hear
That's like a Twilight Zone situation. You guys must have been like, what the fuck?
How long have we been doing this? We kind of just take it in stride.
No, it made perfect sense to me because when I pulled this page over,
I understand.
And it's just like right at the top of the next page.
All right, come on. What else is in the news, Robin?
All right. Other than that, how'd you like to play, Mr. President?
You want to run down the list here?
Moving on.
And what's a Burma video jockey?
I played at the Coolidge for a couple of weeks. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
How was it?
I wanted to see it.
They should put that on the cover of the DVD. Played at the Coolidge for a couple of weeks.
Burma BJ. I think
that I've seen. That I've seen.
We all have that DVD.
It's about giving people video cameras in China or something.
Sounds like a really hairy movie, though.
Yeah.
Another classy show, guys.
Yeah.